Hello everyone, John here with an update on the Neanderthal man and Austroraptor projects. They're coming along pretty good. I just got some test shots in that I'm going to show you here, so let's get into it. Alright, so let's look at some of the latest test shot stuff. I may have shown some of this before, but I'll just cover everything. So these tan pieces are originals, and the gray ones are the new test shots, and I think they're coming out pretty good. Size-wise, these are good. So I'm pretty pleased with how these are turning out, and of course, because these are 3D printed, we're eliminating seam lines and mold lines on these. Same with these, same with this rabbit. So this has a part number on it that's going to be the same on some of the other parts. Because it's not going to be on a sprue, you need to be able to identify that. So I'm having part numbers put on these. So this is an example. And these here, again, these tools here, again, I'm pleased with how these are turning out. Now, with the nameplates, what's supposed to happen is that we'll have a border that's separate from the background. This Austroraptor nameplate's a little bit small. Should be closer to this size. This one came out as a single piece. They're actually going to be two-piece, so that you can paint the border and paint the background separately and then put it together. The idea is to make it easier to do your nameplates. So speaking of nameplates, and I think I've shown these before, we have the nameplate holders that pretty simple, straightforward. I like how this little design has come out. It's pretty unobtrusive. So yeah. All right, so we got nameplates out of the way. Let's talk about the figure. All right, so I'm still working out some of the fit issues, but we've got these legs here that this is the third set of legs, so that you can have this guy holding up the rock and he'll be able to stand in a pose that's much more like the box art. We are still working out some issues with the parts connections. I think that the resin has a tendency to shrink a little bit, so we're going to have to adjust our pegs to go into the sockets, but it's coming along. So it's a minor little thing. It'll get adjusted. On the base, we are having some size issues. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and we'll work that out. But with the base, as you can probably see, it's a little bit, well, not a little bit, it's a lot smaller here. Why does this look, okay, there we go. So I'm getting with my people here, my 3D sculptors and printers, and getting this issue resolved. But there is base. Similarly, speaking of bases, we've got, this is, again, it's too small, but this is the new background, the new new base that I'm doing for this, which will be like the original box art. So you could have our Neanderthal man standing on there, so that it'll match the box art, because that's one of the things I was always kind of disappointed was that the pose didn't match the box art. And it's a pretty simple friction connection. So anyway, there's that. All right, now let's get to the Austroraptor. This is the Austroraptor in 1/13 scale, and I'm pretty stoked about just how big a kit this is. Now, I will be honest, we're having the same fit issues, and we'll work that out. But here's one. There's 2 Austroraptors in the kit, and this is one of them that's caught a fish. You know, we've got to work out our. Let me scoot that over a little bit. But this will give you some idea of what it's going to look like. These are supposed to be friction connections. Again, the pegs ended up too large for the holes. We'll fix that. But I really like all the detail. Johanna Koberska, who sculpted this, has just done such an excellent job with sculpting all the detail, all the feathers in this. So it's going to be a really cool kit, and it will eventually have a base that you could do with a resin pour if you wanted to. So anyway, that's the update on our test shots here. Still got work to do, still going to take some time, but we'll get there eventually. So I appreciate all your patience waiting for us to get these out. So thank you. Thanks for joining me on this update. I am hoping to have these out and available in the next few months. We'll see how it works. It's a development process. So there's testing, there's fixing, there's more testing, there's more fixing, and that's just to be expected. But it's coming along well. So hopefully in the next few months, I'll be able to make these available to everyone. So thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next update.